Hey guys, my name is Christopher Archilla, and I'm gonna tell you my story on how I got diagnosed with cancer. So earlier this year, it was New Year's. I thought that 2024 was going to be my year, my great year, because I was the strongest I've been, benching 325 pounds. Could you imagine that? I was squatting and deadlifting around 500 pounds, and I looked great. I was in shape. I had a good job. I was making good money for my age, and it was a gateway job as well. I was going to school, getting good grades. I was going to all these festivals, having fun. I was finally able to talk to girls. I was always a shy individual when it came to trying to hit on a woman. That's so funny now. I don't even think about that anymore. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna probably get a girlfriend this year, you know. And I thought that life was gonna start going up from here. I thought maybe I was gonna start powerlifting, maybe break some records, maybe start bodybuilding. Um, yeah, but it all changed. Everything went astray. Um, it was around the 7th of January. Around this time, I've already had like a blow in my stomach. It was pretty big. I looked pregnant, and I've had it since probably November of 2023. And I remember my mom was always worried. We thought it was like a parasite. We thought it was something like that. I tried all these dewormers and all these other things. And evidently, it wasn't, because that same day, in January 7th, I was throwing up extremely violently. And I just remember my mom saying, Chris, we need to take you to the hospital. And I said, Mom, I can't. I got work tomorrow. My mom's like, no, you're going. It's not normal. And I was like, all right, all right, all right. So my dad drives me to the hospital, and it was a community hospital. And when I went to the hospital, I remember going into the hospital, and the last memory I had of that day was me sitting on a chair like this. And then the female doctor came in, and she said, Christopher, I'm sorry. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you have cancer masses. And it was like the scene from like Breaking Bad, like Walter White. I was just shook. I just remember I kept staring at her, and I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, you have cancer masses. And she was like, is there anyone you would like for me to call? And I told her, yes, can you call my mom? I don't want to hear her cry. And I called my dad, and after that, I don't remember anything except like two weird scenes. So at this moment, my ammonia had skyrocketed to like 190 or 200 something. What your ammonia is, it's a neurotoxin, I'm pretty sure, that your body has to get rid of, but my body was not getting rid of it because my liver is where the cancer masses were found. So my liver wasn't able to actually get rid of the ammonia. So I was basically going crazy, and that was like two little memories I had. In the first one, I was freaking out, and I was hanging on to the hospital bed, which I was supposed to be in, but I was walking alongside it, trying to escape, saying, Dad, Dad. I was saying this in Spanish. I was like, Dad, Dad, help me, help me. And my dad was like, I'm here, I'm here. And I'm like, Dad, no, Dad, help me. And then in this other like scene, I just remember being in a chair, kind of strapped down. doctors, and then they were like, calm down, calm down. I was like, okay, 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 okay. And I would calm down, and then I was trying to escape, and they were like, calm down, calm down, calm down. I was like, all right, all right, all right. And then I thought I could escape. That's all I remember. And apparently I was even like more violent or something. I don't know. And I got put in the ICU, and I was there for a couple of days. I had some crazy experiences. I heard Jesus talk to me. Um, it was a weird experience. I was in my hospital bed, and I remember I was like thirsty, and then I just heard my dad, but it wasn't my dad. It was weird. It was a weird voice that I heard. It sounded like my dad, but he said, Chris, I am here. I am your father. Don't worry. I got you. And it sounded like my dad, but it wasn't quite my dad. You know what I mean? And I looked over because it was a very, very vague voice. It was like, I legit thought someone was right next to me. I looked over, I'm like, what? Like, who am I talking to? Like, and then I put two and two together, and I was like, you know what? Father, Jesus is my father, like, it's crazy. But yeah, that was a crazy moment. I remember I was crying like crazy, I was praying a lot. I was crying. It's a tough time for me. The hospital food wasn't good. I was eating. Oh, there's something funny that happened too. Because when I woke up, I had a tube in my nose. It was in my nose, down my throat. TMI right here. I had a bunch of tubes connected in a bunch of holes. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But basically, I remember when they took the tube out my nose, it hurt. But because I just had woken up from like a 3-day coma, I don't think that's considered a coma, but like a 3-day nap. I remember I told my dad, I was hungry, so he brought me some pizza. We didn't know what diet to take at that point. We just didn't know, so my dad just brought me food. And then I remember I was just munching on that. And then I was like, Dad, I'm still hungry because I haven't eaten in a long time. No, so this was, okay, so before I ate, before I ate, I'm all over the place right now. Before I ate, my dad was like, okay, Chris, what do you want from the vending machine? He took a picture of the vending machine and showed me a photo of the vending machine. And my mind couldn't make out what was on the phone. And I was like, what are you showing me? And it looked like those photos where you can't make out anything. So weird. And it was because my mind just didn't know how to look at the phone. And then I remember I told my dad, give me my phone. I looked at my phone and it looked fake and I threw it. It was disgusting. I was like, what is going on? My phone looked fake to me. It was so weird. It's the weirdest thing ever. Okay, but after that, I remember I got my food. I was, okay, it's good. Whatever. And then the hospital gave me nasty food, man. Hospital gave me nasty food. And then I remember I got discharged and I was happy. And then literally a week later, I literally got put in the ICU again for the same reason, because I needed to take these certain supplements to regulate my ammonia, which I'm taking now. So then my brother found a foundation called Fibro Fighters, and they have been a blessing to me because they have told me everything I need to know to like help with my condition, with my ammonia, with everything. And it has helped me a lot. And I thank them because I would have probably been dead if it weren't for them, because when I went into the ICU at Loma Linda Hospital, when I was here, it was a crazy thing because they didn't know what to do with me. And then the foundation said, you got to put him on chemo right away. So when they put me on chemo, my ammonia went down. And I guess what my dad said is like I was going super crazy because I don't remember even going to the hospital. But yeah, when I woke up, I have pictures on my Instagram. If you guys want to see my Instagram, it's Mr. LB for LB, Mr. Pound for Pound. I'm gonna put in the description. I'll put the link and everything. But basically, I was strapped down. My legs were strapped down. My arms were strapped down, and I had like a breather in my mouth. I had a tube down my nose. Tubes everywhere. I had a tube in my neck. I had IVs in my neck and IVs in my arms, in both my arms. I had like two IVs on my right arm or something, two IVs on my left. I don't even remember. And then I had CVC right here. They were gonna do dialysis, but they never did it. But it was the craziest thing ever, and they thought I was gonna die. They thought I wasn't gonna make it, but I miraculously like survived, lived. Remember I woke up and I had this breathing tube in my mouth, and I was like, "What's going on?" And then I remember when they finally took it out. They're like, "Chris, are you hungry?" And I was like, I couldn't speak because my voice was like gone because I haven't spit. I had a tube down my throat. And I was like, And then they had this little like thing in my nose, like, like yeah, they had that in my nose. And then I was like, yeah, I want some. They were like, you want applesauce? I was like, yeah, I want applesauce. And then, well, I was saying, yeah, like, And then they started feeding me. Oh, that applesauce is so good. Best applesauce I had in my life, And then I was in a hospital for like a week and a half because I was gone. I was asleep for like 4 or 5 days. And when I was in the hospital, I was like there for like 5 days. And I remember it was just the hardest thing because I was just in bed all that time, Couldn't really do much. Felt weak. I was really sad. I was in pain a lot. I was always wanting food, and it's just hard. I just couldn't. They had me on like a strict diet. They had me on, and I couldn't eat whatever I wanted anymore. Just hard. And I remember when I got discharged. It's been a tough battle. The chemos have been tough. This past chemo has been very tough on me. Yeah, but one thing from the Loma Linda hospital visit or when I was in ICU is apparently there is two people that wanted to come visit me. And my dad and my brother were in the room. So the nurse came. She was like, oh, there's two people that want to visit Chris. Is there a way you guys can switch out with them? My dad and brother were like, yeah, sure. So they went to the lobby, tried to find them. Didn't find anyone. So then my dad came back up. He said, did anyone come visit? I was like, no one came to visit. And then I think when I got discharged, when I got discharged, my mom she was talking to these pastors, and the pastor had told me, oh yeah, Chris, we had sent 2 angels to go and visit you to help heal you, to help you in the hospital. And in my mind, I was like, yo, what? There's no way, because I didn't tell them about the individuals who apparently came to visit me. And that was them, the 2 angels. And I was just so shocked. There's no way. Like, there's 2 angels that are coming, like, what? And it's just, this whole thing has just been a crazy journey. One of my biggest struggles right now is just trying to adapt because, I had my life before and, I don't have that same life right now. I'm not as strong as I was. I still go to the gym. I still go and I still try to do what I like. Playing video games is hard because my brain right now, I just don't feel like, I don't like getting frustrated. It just ticks me off. I get really mad easily because of like situations. Like I'm in pain a lot sometimes and it's just hard on me, but I have to keep pushing forward. I always keep pushing forward. I always tell everyone I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop fighting because that's just dumb. In my opinion, I'm not ever going to stop fighting. I don't care how hard it gets. I'll always keep fighting. I don't want to die. And that's the thing, because I want to keep living. And I'm too young right now. And I feel like I have a big life ahead of me. And I don't want to go. I want to stay, and I'm going to stay. And that's what I want to do. That's my choice. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening to my story. If you guys have any more questions, go on my Instagram and ask me. You guys could Ask me to make more videos here. You guys can ask me anything. I really don't care because I'm an open book and I want you guys to know everything about me. See you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Take care.